Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Marco, and I'm from Indonesia, and I'm from SALT. SALT is a Pimcore Silver Partners. And today at Pimcore Inspire 2021, I'd like to talk about how to build integration consumer loyalty with Pimcore. Before we go on the next topic, let me introduce about myself. So my name is Marco Wijoyo, and I live in Sydney for about 12 years. And before I came back to Indonesia, I started SALT about 8 years ago. And I took the role as a CEO, and SALT grew into a multi-million-dollar corporation as a technology partner to enterprises and large corporations here in Indonesia. My ambition, or SALT ambition, is basically to accelerate Indonesian digital technology to global level. So SALT is basically a digital transformation for marketing company. So we are technology partners with a lot of enterprise here in Indonesia and surrounding. We have about 280 people at the moment, and we serve more than 80 clients. And we are 7 years old, almost 8 in November. It's actually 8 years old now. And we only have one vision, which is to be the leading and the most innovative technology company. And SALT is basically part of Red Asia Incorporation. It's Indonesia's largest independent digital marketers here in Indonesia. We have comprises a number of companies within Red Asia Incorporation. We started from digital marketing, technology, PR, e-sport, and many others, right? So today, what I'd like to talk to you about today would be the baby infant formula milk product. It's an industry. How do we create the consumer loyalty for that product or for that brand? I'll talk to you later on more about the fact what is comprises on the baby infant formula milk, right? So today there are 4 sections that I'd like to discuss: interact, conversion, active, and loyalty. So how to build integrated consumer loyalty. Firstly, on the interact, how would we engage and consume the contents to make it personalized for the target audiences? The second one, how do we make the target audience to register as member, to follow our activities, our event? And then how do we make them to purchase the product? And last but not least, how do we make them have a continuous engagement with them so they can do a repeat purchase with the brand? So all this step by step, I'll talk to you more into a detail later on, but this is what I'm gonna speak about today. So the background objective, baby infant formula industry, right? Baby infant formula industry is quite large in terms of the global market, right? So we have top market players like Nestle, Reckitt Kaiser, Danone, Abbott, Arla Food Ingredient, and so on and so forth. So it's a relatively large industry. However, even though it's large industry, they have some limitation on how the industry sells the product. As you know, below 12 months old, the babies, all the professional medical highly suggested that the baby should get their nutrition from breast milk. So breastfeeding is highly recommended. On this particular occasion, the brands are unable to promote or sell the baby infant formula to babies less than 12 months old. So that's the limitation. So based on the industry challenges, SALT as a technology partners have to overcome these challenges. We call it communication challenges. So we spread it into 5 different stages. One during planning, probably the mom still planning on the pregnant or getting pregnant. The second one during the final trimester, during the pregnancy. The third one is mom with the babies less than 6 months old. The fourth one, mom with the babies more than 6 months old. And the last one is a mom with toddler, which is 1 to 5 years old, which is they're able to purchase the product. So during the planning, what we identify, mom with the planning with a pregnancy, they consume content, right? But the brand does not have the product to sell to the mom, but we try to engage them during this stage as awareness. So they're aware of the brand, and we started the communication with them. So during the pregnancy with the final trimester or 9 months, normally mom consume a lot of content, and I mean a lot of content. And here is the first step on the brand, and to make them register or make them really engage with the brand, right? They consume a lot of content, and we make the product awareness here, but they are unable to purchase the product because the product is not for them. The product is for the babies when the babies start 12 months old. The third one, when they have the babies less than 6 months, they still consume a lot of content as a mom. Again, we cannot promote the product. And then more than 6 months old, less than 12 months old, they still consume a lot of content, but less than during the final trimester, or the baby is less than 6 months old. Probably they get used to the baby. They still consume content, but not that much anymore. We started to make the product awareness as well during this stage. Now, when the babies hit 12 months old, they still consume content, but less. But on this particular stage, the product promotion is the brand is engaging the mom with the toddler with a lot of promotion on the product, because at this stage, now the brand can sell the product. You can see we can sell the product at the end, but from the first stage until the fourth stage, the brand is unable to get the brand and to get unable to ask the target audience to purchase the product. So those are the communication challenges. So next, so understanding mom with the CRM and loyalty, understanding mom and needs, and to provide them with the right information and content becoming very critical to the product. Because what happened is, if the target audience purchase the product before the baby is 12 months old, the brand could get into legal problems and deficiency of the babies and things like that, which the brand does not want that. So these are the critical communication challenges. And we can achieve this because this is a successful case study. And I'm telling you about the case study that we've done using Pimcore. How do we tackle these challenges, these critical communication challenges for the brand and for the target audience, right? So as mentioned previously, we have a blackout period. The blackout period during the third and the fourth stage, no product exposure for 1 year. But at the end of a blackout period, the brands ask us to promote the product as much as possible because the brand needs revenue and sales, right? So there's a communication gap in between, but then we have to sell the product at the end. So we do need to engage, the brand needs to engage those audiences from the beginning. And so our approach is the 4 steps that I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation. We need to build bridges to open up relationship with them. We first get them to engage and make them to register and make them excited with the brand and ask them to become a brand ambassador or ask them to spread the love of the brand to others, right? So how do we operate, or how do we execute, how do we run each step, right? On the in-track, the personalization is crucial for the brand and for the target audience. We do not want to give the wrong content during the wrong stages of the pregnancy or on the baby's age. So we rely on the technology in order to identify the persona or segmentation in order to give them personalized content. The second one during the conversion, we actively give personalized offer, right? When we come up with the segmentation, we come up with a persona, we come up with a behavior analysis, we give them a package that is suitable for them, on an offer that's very suitable for them. And then after they purchase the product, we support them with relevant benefit. Obviously, we'd like them to be support them with emotionally, like massages for mom, like gym for mom, and a lot of things, right? How do we support emotionally for moms? And the last not least, our loyalty. We need to appreciate them. So hopefully with the brand appreciation for the consumer, loyal consumer, they become a brand ambassador and they refer the brand to other people. So this is in more detail, how did we do it exactly for the brand, right? During the planning for pregnancy, we have features such as finding your baby name or a baby cost calculation, because a family normally do not know how much the baby costs. So during the final trimester, they consume a lot of content, right? So we have a feature like pregnancy calculator, pregnancy myth. And then when they gave birth already, we started what we call a baby journal. So we need to keep track of the audiences as well, right? Without keeping track, we are unable to get the data. How old is the baby? That's why we have a feature called baby journal. We have allergy checker, new parents guideline, especially for a newborn or firstborn, and the baby 6 months, more than 6 months, we have a baby potential guidelines, baby recipe, and so on and so forth. During the toddler, we have a toddler potential, how do we learn together as a parents and son or daughter, and education calculation costs, right? How much do you need to save the money for your kids to have a better education, right? So this is a detail what we did for the brand. How do they collect points for the reward? So we, obviously this brand is a manufacturing, right? They manufacture a lot of baby infant milk, and they distribute it into a modern market, into supermarket and wet market and many things like that. So whenever the target audience purchase the product, they keep the receipt. And what happens is we have a mobile apps, and we have a mobile website as well, which they can take picture of the receipt. So SALT created OCR technology. We scan the receipt, get the data, how many baby infant milk they purchase, how much will it cost, and what are the products that they purchase with. So when we detected a purchase of a baby infant milk for that brand, we collect the points. They collect, well, target audience collect the points. And when they have a point collection, they have a benefit and privileges depending on their stages on the babies, right? So during a toddler, when they purchase the product, we give them reward. They can exchange their points into rewards, or we give them gift, right? I need to highlight on this occasion about data. What happened is when we scan the data, we get a lot other information, like what kind of other product that they purchase with the baby infant milk, and how often or the frequency they purchase baby infant milk. So there are a lot of data that we consume. I mean, we can gather from this receipt scan, and we save or store all those data into an MDM from Pimcore. So from brand advocacy, we have events such as ambassador. So we ask them, if they're a loyal consumer, we ask them to become an ambassador for the brand. They spread the love. And the motherhood, they have a community of motherhood, which and we make it as a referral mechanism. They can refer to one another and they get a benefit out of it. They have an exclusive gift or promo. They have a special event that they get invite-only event and campaigns. So Those are the campaign, those are the strategy. Now, how did we do it on the technical, right? So firstly, and the first more important thing is data. How do we track and tagging? Because this is critical to the communication. Remember, we need to give a personalized communication. We cannot communicate wrongly during the wrong stages of the mother stages. So tracking and tagging very important. So we utilize Google Analytics to keep track of all the event on the website, right? When the data is being acquired, we save them into the brand CDP, customer data platform. We have analytics there, we have user information, we have transactional, we have content mapping and everything. Once inside the CDP, we create what we call it a user persona or segmentation. We segmented the user based on their behavior. So once we have a user segmentation, then the next step, we need to identify quality leads. So when we created segmentation, we need to find out whether that segmentation is very hot, warm, or cold. Right? The way how we find out whether they very hot, warm, or cold is based on time span, the motherhood stages, content tagging, content types, frequency, and so on, right? Those behavior, we calculate everything. Those are within the Pimcore. We use MDM, which is master data management. So what happened is once we get the data, the segmentation, and we know the leads, whether it's hot, cold, or warm, we firstly, when they visit the next time, we personalize the homepage. This personalization homepage isn't just the content, but the entire layout of the homepage, right? We transform automatically based on the user needs and segmentation. So as you can see on the picture, those three are three different layouts. So those three are for three different segmentation. And then, well, it is made possible using Pimcore because on our designer, we use what we call it atomic design methodology. It's a methodology that we break down the design into components. And Pimcore made us possible as well using digital asset management and content management system, using what we call it a block system, like a Lego. So we stack them together, we created the homepage on the fly. And then the next one, we call it, the next features will be the on-site remarketing. What happened is when they visit the next time, we have not only the personalized homepage, where we have what we call a personalized offering for them, right? It's based on their intention, based on how their behavior, based on many things on the data. So when for this on-site remarketing, this is more detailed. So depending on the leads, whether they are very hot, warm, and cold. If it's very hot, for example, we want them to convert into a user. If it's hot, they can either convert to a user or they continue with the related content. If it's warm, and we may need to engage more content. So again, during the conversion stage, we remind them for product purchase if the lead is very hot and hot. If the lead is warm or cold, we remind them to do activity still. During the active, very hot and hot, we assume they already purchased the product, so we want them to collect the points. So they're using the points. And if the lead become warm and cold, we remind them to use the exclusive benefit because they have a points. So this optimization is the on-site remarketing is only possible using monthly reporting from Pimcore. The MDM, we created a regular reporting each month. Those reporting, we have data like a hit rate, drop-off, timing, and things like that. So every month, we change our on-site remarketing strategy. This is a summary of what I have mentioned throughout the presentation. So if they have a loyal consumer, we want them to redeem the rewards and benefit. And underneath that is what technology did we use for in Pimcore. We using DXP and CMS. We're using a product info management with the product database as well. And we use digital asset management because there's a lot of content, there's a lot of asset. And last but not least, and it's very important to be honest, is MDM, Master Data Management. As you can see or hear from presentation, data is quite critical, right? So what SALT scope of work was strategy, analytics, CDP integration, marketing automation, and loyalty system, right? So thank you, and thanks from Pimcore to make this case study possible and make the brand happy and the target audience happy. So thank you, Pimcore. Thank you everyone for listening in.